beautiful humans, or aliens, or light beings, whatever you are, wherever you are. Welcome to my channel. My name is Morgana. My channel is The Reflective Witch, and you can find me on other forms of social media as Reflective Witch. I am a creative medium and intuitive tarot reader. My intention for every single reading that I do, whether it's for the collective or it's a personal reading with just me and you, my intention is for you to feel closer to yourself, to feel connected to spirit, and empowered to live your best life. I felt called today to do another pick a card video. This video specifically is geared toward what messages does Spirit have for you right now. So let's pick a pile. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3, whichever one you're feeling. I'm gonna have timestamps in the description below. So take a deep breath and let's get the fuck into it. Hello, you chose pile number 1. I have absolutely no idea what this stone is, but it's beautiful and super fucking spiralic. I'm gonna be using the Shadowscape Tarot for this one, as well as some additional oracle card decks. Every deck that I use in order for each reading will be listed in the description below. Take another deep breath with me. And let's see what messages Spirit has for you right now. So what's crossing you right now is the 3 of Swords. And I'm feeling a lot of intensity coming off of this card. I'm feeling as if that this situation came to... It was like an abrupt end, or it was just a very disappointing end. Whatever relationship you're thinking of, I feel as though with this Page of Cups energy, like, and it coming through in reverse, that this was a connection that you saw a lot of potential in. This was a connection that you felt very drawn towards. This was a connection that, and this, I feel as if this message specifically is for those of you who maybe just went through a breakup, whether that was with a significant other or maybe a friend breakup or separating ways in some way. But I do feel like there is also a specific message in here for someone who has just lost a loved one. But right now I'm going to focus on what's coming through for those of you who just ended a relationship. And if what is being said so far is not resonating with you, if you are not in a relationship, if you have not ended one recently, if you have not gone through any form of loss, please feel free to pick another pile or stick around for this one. Maybe some messages will come through for those of you who are not experiencing that right now. We'll dive deeper into it. But as of right now, I'm feeling as if the Page of Cups, like coming up in reversed, was more so a message for those of you who poured a lot into this connection, poured a lot into a relationship, and there was a sudden end. It was like, you know, to be in a page energy is to be in this freshness. It's to be so explorative. I feel like you were very open to this connection and open to this newfound sense of love and connectedness to someone, whether that was in a friendship, maybe you met someone and, oh, my cat is in here. Hello, Bear. Maybe you met someone and you felt kind of as if the stars aligned in some way. You were vibing on levels that you hadn't been vibing with anyone. And there was just something that fucking came up, and you stepping from being in this page upright to being in reversed and transitioning into the 3 of Swords. something ended like a fucking abruptly for you within that connection. I don't know if this person ghosted you. I don't know if this person... It almost too kind of feels as if this person didn't really have your best interest in mind, and they led you on in some way. They maybe even went as far to lie about some of the things they were interested in just so that they could be with you, or I'm just sensing like a lot of deception that like led to this abrupt end. Deception that you weren't necessarily aware of until after the fact. And this relationship, I feel as if you've come to an awareness within that connection that things just didn't match up the way they did in the beginning. Things didn't match up the way you thought they were going to. And Spirit, I'm so glad that fucking Death came out and the Devil, because this relationship was something that wasn't going to bring you any sense of true love. It's almost like this relationship, maybe they were more in it for the creature comfort. They were more in it for the physicality of it, if you will. If this was like a significant other or an intimate partnership. Different messages for different people. I'm getting so many different things at once, so I hope that you're following me. So what's crossing you right now is the Three of Swords. And I'm feeling a lot of intensity coming off of this card. I'm feeling as if that this situation came to... It was like an abrupt end, or it was just a very disappointing end. Whatever relationship you're thinking of. I feel as though with this Page of Cups energy, like, and it coming through in reverse, that this was a connection that you saw a lot of potential in. This was a connection that you felt very drawn towards. This was a connection that, and this, I feel as if this message specifically is for those of you who maybe just went through a breakup, whether that was with a significant other or maybe a friend breakup or separating ways in some way. But I do feel like there is also a specific message in here for someone who has just lost a loved one. But right now I'm going to focus on what's coming through for those of you who just ended a relationship. And if what is being said so far is not resonating with you, if you are not in a relationship, if you have not ended one recently, if you have not gone through any form of loss, please feel free to pick another pile or stick around for this one. Maybe some messages will come through for those of you who are not experiencing that right now. We'll dive deeper into it. But as of right now, I'm feeling as if the Page of Cups, like coming up in reversed, was more so a message for those of you who poured a lot into this connection, poured a lot into a relationship, and there was a sudden end. It was like, you know, to be in a page energy is to be in this freshness. It's to be so explorative. I feel like you were very open to this connection and open to this newfound sense of love and connectedness to someone, whether that was in a friendship, maybe you met someone and, oh, my cat is in here. Hello, Bear. Maybe you met someone and you felt kind of as if the stars aligned in some way. You were vibing on levels that you hadn't been vibing with anyone. And there was just something that fucking came up, and you stepping from being in this page upright to being in reversed and transitioning into the Three of Swords. Something ended like a fucking abruptly for you within that connection. I don't know if this person ghosted you. I don't know if this person... It almost too kind of feels as if this person didn't really have your best interest in mind, and they led you on in some way. They maybe even went as far to lie about some of the things they were interested in just so that they could be with you, or I'm just sensing like a lot of deception that like led to this abrupt end. Deception that you weren't necessarily aware of until after the fact. And this relationship, I feel as if you've come to an awareness within that connection that things just didn't match up the way they did in the beginning. Things didn't match up the way you thought they were going to. And Spirit, I'm so glad that fucking Death came out and the Devil, because this relationship was something that wasn't going to bring you any sense of true love. It's almost like this relationship, maybe they were more in it for the creature comfort. They were more in it for the physicality of it, if you will. If this was like a significant other or an intimate partnership. Different messages for different people. I'm getting so many different things at once, so I hope that you're following me. Sorry, my phone was being weird. I had to restart what I was doing. Or start a new video, perhaps. I believe I left off with talking about the Devil card. So I feel as if the Devil card is coming through to further this message that it wasn't a relationship that had a strong foundation of love. It more so had a foundation of just creature comfort. Like maybe it was more so a hookup. Maybe you hooked up with someone and you felt butterflies and you wanted to further that connection, and leading up to that hookup, or maybe like a very short, like fast fucking affair with this person. They were saying all of the right things to you, and then one day it was just as if they disappeared, or they messaged you, or they showed up to you and they just said, hey, this isn't gonna work out. You are someone who wants an actual relationship, and I am someone who just wants to bounce around. And not saying that that is a bad place to be in, but that relationship just wasn't in alignment with what you were looking for. And Spirit really wants you to acknowledge what you want within a significant relationship or an intimate relationship. Are you wanting someone to meet you where you're at? And where are you at? Are you in a place where you're able to dive into a relationship with someone? Are you in a place where you're more emotionally unavailable and you're just looking for sex? Are you just looking for some company? Are you reaching out for a relationship out of loneliness, or are you reaching out for a relationship because you feel like you're in a place right now that a partner coming into your life and creating a strong foundation would be something that would bring you joy, you know? Are you following? I feel like that first message was for someone specific, or a few of you that just got out of a relationship, and the Death card coming through to me was that significant like end and the beginning of something new. But going into that message for someone who just lost someone, if you just abruptly lost a loved one, I'm very sorry for your loss. It's coming through very strong in the specific message that it almost is if maybe there was an accident of some kind, there was a sudden death. There's death on top of the Three of Swords next to the Devil. And this could also be someone who is younger. With this Page of Cups in reversed, I'm feeling they're either like very young or very old. There's not like that in between. With the page, I see pages as having like a childlike wisdom, but I also see that in much older people too, like elderly versus children. Like their spirits are very much intertwined in that they're just very childlike. The only difference is the elder has gone through life and experienced so much, but one is leaving and one is coming in. There's a duality to the relationship of a child and an elder. So I'm not sure if this relationship was one that you had throughout your life, and maybe it was a grandparent or someone you really looked up to, you considered family, and they passed. Or if it was a child, someone younger. I'm feeling like younger than 25, if not younger than 20. And possibly female. Honestly, yeah. I don't even know. Honestly, let's not even get into the gender side of it. I'm just feeling like whatever spirit that just passed on had a very childlike essence about them, but they were also very wise for their age. So that's why I'm kind of teetering back and forth between, I don't know if they were younger or older. They kind of have both traits coming through in this reading. And the devil to come out, to me, almost symbolizes an anxiety surrounding them passing abruptly. I feel as if this message is for someone very specific. Maybe this person passed due to an overdose in some way, due to something having to do with like substance abuse. This person I'm hearing overdose, I'm hearing like accident. I'm hearing that they were partaking in something that they usually do to feel a sense of comfort, and it ended for them. Or just an accident in general. I feel like this, again, throughout this whole reading, I feel like the Three of Swords is very abrupt. And it's ignited you into this grief and this heartbreak, this heartache, this feeling like you don't know what the fuck to do, like you feeling a sense of betrayal and loss. You're not really sure, like, I'm feeling as if you're isolating yourself, you're not reaching out to anyone, you feel like you don't have anyone on your side, you feel very enslaved and trapped in your emotions to the point where you're even starting to rely on creature comforts, whether that is eating or consuming alcohol or substances, what have you, listening to horrible music that only brings you down. Like, I feel like you know that one thing that you do that isn't necessarily healthy for you to be doing, especially in this time of grieving whatever just left your life. And I feel like going into especially these goddess cards too, how can you meet yourself halfway in this grief and be gentle with yourself compared to maybe even tossing around the idea of saying, like, how could I have saved this person? How could I have changed this relationship and put it more into my favor? Like, I almost feel as if you're like holding the weight of their loss in your life or in their own life. And that's not yours to hold on to. That's not yours to, it's just not yours. And them leaving your life, them passing on, has nothing to do with the way that you showed up in their life and the way that you treated them. It has everything to do with their own experience. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to know that you did nothing wrong, that you showed up in a way that was I'm also feeling like the Page of Cups was you too, where you showed up in that connection and in that relationship, ready to explore the depths, and ready to just see where it was gonna go, and just completely surrender to the flow of it and see what unfolded. And I feel like your intentions within this connection throughout a lot of bullshit has been pure, and you've had good intention. And something abruptly ended, and it's really made you question yourself and how you show up in relationships now, question yourself and how you even show up in the world. I just see you isolating, and whether this relationship was something that just ended for you. The beauty of these videos is that these messages are coming through whenever you are meant to see them or hear them. Time doesn't fucking exist. This could be a relationship also coming up for you too that happened a long time ago, but that grief is resurfacing. Something has triggered that within you. Maybe that's a new relationship or the possibility of a new relationship. And a lot of these like overwhelming feelings of grief and hopelessness and despair, and almost as if you are scared to open up again because things just abruptly ended. It's like, why would I even put in the effort now? Why would I even want to connect with someone when they're gonna leave, or they're gonna leave me and go for someone else, you know? But Spirit really wants you to know that you are so strong. You know, this says, look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. Also, have faith. Trust your faith in this situation. Oh yeah, let me grab these. Kanyen, compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others, and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. And unconditional love. Mary Magdalene. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. I feel like this is a beautiful message just to say, be gentle with yourself in your time of grieving. Whatever feelings have been resurfacing for you surrounding this grief, just know that grief is so complex. There's not an end to a grieving process. Again, it's like a process. And Spirit really wants you to know that nothing was your fault, that you are absolutely worthy of having divine love in your life, having those connections that you want deeply, that you need. I feel like you're someone who really, you need people and you need connection to get through your life. And I just feel as though you're in this period of really isolating yourself because you're worried that you're going to lose someone. You're worried that something's going to happen to them, that you're maybe, I would even go as far to say that you maybe feel like you are the fucking Grim Reaper, and like things come into your life and then they leave. Connections happen and then they fade. But I feel like Spirit wants you to know that that's not necessarily because of you. You come into someone's life, I see you almost, maybe you're even a fucking Scorpio, or you have like a lot of Scorpio in your chart, or water in general, or Capricorn with this Devil card. I just see you coming into people's lives, and the way you meet them, like with your authenticity and your pureness. When I say pureness, I just mean like you meet them and you show up as your most authentic self, and you show up with that childlike wisdom and that childlike curiosity, and you just want to have an open connection with them. And I feel like you unknowingly, maybe this is something you've come to find out, but you almost ignite something within people that they come to you in this transitionary state in their life. They don't really know what the fuck to do. You come into their life and you highlight some things. Maybe you even like reflect back to them some shadows and light. I just see you as being someone who's like very blunt and forward with what you see and experience from someone. But I also see you like bringing out a lot of light in people too. So that is a big fucking energy for people. And a lot of people aren't used to that. They're not used to feeling connected to someone, and that can scare them away. So Spirit really wants you to know that you are fierce as fuck. Like, I feel like you embody this phoenix energy where it feels like it's a negative trait where you can't hold on to things. You can't hold on to things for long periods of time, like hold on to connections. But there's definitely a lot of love that still is within your heart, even though it feels as if there's not, and like you can't take any more hurt, you can't take any more grief, you can't take any more fucking connections or being hurt, because I just see you being very gentle. Maybe you're highly sensitive. In general, you're very empathic and intuitive, and this especially, like, whatever the fuck just left your life has really brought you a lot of pain and mental anguish and suffering. And that weight, the weight of that person leaving your life, and the weight that you carry, I feel like you carry the weight again that is, it almost feels like that it was your fault. It was the things you did. You should have done things differently. Spirit is just saying, like, that's not fair on you. That's not fair to you. That's not fair for you to view yourself that way, especially because you show up in your most beautiful and authentic and unique way. And you're just someone that really inspires change in people's lives. And you highlight the beauty and light within them. But on the other side of that, you also highlight, you're not afraid to say when something the fuck is up. You're not afraid to say or point out a pattern or behavior or something that's wrong within a relationship or a connection. And Spirit, like, lastly, with these animal spirit oracle cards, like, it says love and visionary. This says be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. And then I'll see the light in all things. Love yourself and others, every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. Release judgments about yourself and others. Like, release these judgments and start to meet yourself halfway in your grieving process and almost come by your side and say, treat yourself like you would be as a child, and kind of come into that parent mode and say, hey, we did everything we could. We did absolutely everything we could and everything we knew how to do. And that relationship ended. And that is not going to hinder me. That is not going to keep me from connecting with other people, because you connect with people in such a beautiful and unique way. And that is absolutely rare. And that is for everyone who picked this reading. Like, the way you show up in your relationships, it inspires big change. And some people just aren't ready for that, and they just leave your life and they're like, you know what? This is a fucking mirror, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing in myself, so I have to bounce. And Spirit, like, really wants you to know that their shit is not yours, and you need to keep showing up in love and keep being yourself. Just know that, lastly, like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that this person or these people left your life when you had nothing but good intentions with these connections. And it's up to you now to hold your heart in your hands, be gentle with yourself, and say, I love you. You know, we can do some like affirmation work. You can do some affirmation work if that's something you vibe with. But yeah, I hope that you resonated with this reading, pile number 1. I'm sending you all so much love. You have such such a big capacity to show love to people and to feel love for people. And I know you might be feeling like you can't have any more of that bullshit in your life. Like, love is starting to warp into pain. But just know that you have experienced divine love. Remember those times in your life where love just brought you so many gifts and so much fullness and wholeness. Hold on to those memories. Hold on to how those situations made you feel. Especially if this is a connection of, or if the message was coming through for the people that had lost loved ones, or if that was just for one person listening to this. Just know that you are absolutely enveloped in love, and they want you to know that you are worthy of connection. You are worthy of feeling the love that you gave to them. I feel like they want you to know that the love that you showed them and the way that you inspired them just by you being yourself was such a blessing in their life, and it was such a rare gift for them. So I hope that you all have a beautiful rest of your day or night. And again, I'm sending you so much love and so much peace over your whole entire being, mind, body, and spirit. Thank you so much. If you would be so kind to let me know what resonated with you in the comment section down below. If you could subscribe to my new YouTube channel, Reflective Witch. This video is on there right now, so I guess you can just find it however you can. Like this video and share it if you feel called. I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Hello, you chose pile number 2. I do know what this stone is. It's one of my favorites. It is a piece of Botswana agate. And today I'm going to be using the Osho Zen Tarot for those who chose pile number 2, as well as some additional oracle card decks that I will leave in the description box below. Let's see what message Spirit has for you. Alrighty, hello to those of you who chose pile number 2. I am really excited for this reading. As soon as I laid out all of the cards, I immediately felt so much peace in my body. And so I'm sending you some of that right now. You know, I'm excited to get into this with you. So I'm going to take you through the tarot cards that I pulled first, and then I'm going to show you the oracle cards that I pulled next. Lastly, I'm going to dive into the reading for you, so let's go. Also, you're going to be hearing my cat trying to get into this room. Hell, ha ha ha. Don't know what the fuck that laugh was. Excuse me? Alrighty, y'all. The first card that flew out was Silence, which is the Star. That's when I knew this was going to be a good reading. Alright. The next card that flew out was Courage. And Courage is the Strength card. All of the Osho Zen Tarot, or a majority of the Osho Zen Tarot, corresponds to the Rider-Waite system, so I like to ping off both of those. And third card that flew out was the Miser, the Four of Pentacles. Last tarot card that flew out was Inner Voice, the High Priestess. 3 major arcana cards, y'all. So whomever just chose pile number 2 is going through a big transformation. And it's an adventure. All right. Let me show you the oracle cards I pulled. I pulled Trust Your Own Understanding, Expansion, and Adventure. Ugh. The goddess cards that I pulled for you, we have the goddess Vesta, Home. Your household situation is improving, either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. we also got Kanyen, which she came through in the last one. Compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. Lastly, I pulled 2 Animal Spirit Oracle cards, and we have Dragonfly Magic. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant and I am blessed. Lastly, we've got the Orca Whale. Adventure again. Dare to do things differently. Sing your wild song. Manifest your travel dreams. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. Ooh. Alright, let's get into it. As soon as I laid all of these cards out, I had a very specific story that came into my head. And I hope that this resonates with you. So the 4 of Pentacles has shown up in the thing that you're stepping out of in your situation, in your life. And that's holding on to your gifts. I'm so excited about this. This is you stepping out of this miser energy. The miser holds on to all of this treasure. Let's say that the miser is Jeff Bezos. Just kidding, but actually. Anyway, let's say that the miser is this energy of a person who has so many beautiful gifts to share, but they won't even let anyone close enough to see them. They won't even let anyone close enough to know what they have. But others get taste, others can see through their opulence and through the way they show up and the things they wear, the way they carry themselves, that they have a lot of gifts, they have a lot of treasures, they have a lot of abundance, and they keep it to themselves. I feel like this is more so you keeping your intuitive gifts to yourself. You more so keeping your gifts that make you to yourself. And almost the miser also comes through as a card of hoarding onto things, holding onto things, not being able to let go of accumulated wealth or treasure or physical items. You know, the Pentacles has to do with things more so in the physical realm, the physical day-to-day life. What comes through more so with this miser card to me is spiritual gifts, or stepping into the mode of being able to give what you have received over time. So stepping into what's crossing you now, you have courage and silence. Next to the fucking High Priestess, which is inner voice. So you've entered this time where you've really done some digging. I feel like you've stepped into this place of awareness of your gifts. You've really gone through and organized your gifts, whether those are physical or mental or spirit. I feel like they're actual spiritual gifts that you have, that I feel like you've had your whole life. You kind of questioned that you've had them. I feel you as someone who is very intuitive. Sorry, I keep blocking my microphone. Hopefully I just got all of that. But I see this miser energy coming through as you knowing you have a lot to share, and you not necessarily knowing the right way to go about it. And I feel like that also kind of had to do with a situation in your life where you went to give, and it wasn't well received, or you were stolen from. Someone took advantage of you. Someone took advantage of your accumulated wealth. Someone took advantage, maybe even someone straight up stole money from you in some way. But I feel like the biggest message of this whole spread is more so your spiritual journey to this point and tapping into your spiritual gifts. But we'll come. I'll let some financial shit come out with this reading too. We can tap into like looking at this actual treasure and this gold, and you know, the pentacles, coins, that coin. But I feel like you've been wronged in the past, and that's kept you from really stepping into the flow and just trusting what comes up for you, trusting what you are receiving from people, and trusting that you will be well received when you give it right back to them, reflect it right back to them. You could be a reader, you could be a medium, you could be psychic in some way. I feel like you're someone who's very in tune. High Priestess doesn't just jump out for anybody. And the Star card, I feel like you're very connected to your spirituality, and maybe that's something that kind of kicked you in the ass at some point in your life, and you were wronged in some way, and you've just started to hold on to these gifts. You've started to hold on. Maybe someone specifically is a medium, someone is a psychic, and you were wronged by somebody. You told them something and they took it the wrong way. They maybe even demonized you for it. Something happened, and you've just started to like be an observer of people. And when you observe people, you read them, and you don't necessarily reflect that back to them. Even when they ask, you're apprehensive, because it's almost like you've gone on this journey to learning how to trust yourself again, and trust that what you have is valuable, what you have will be well received. And you're in this position now with the Silence card to really come back to what your gifts are, and have the courage and have the strength to let them go, let them be free, let them be seen. Like, look at this beautiful flower emerging from this rock wall. Like, how the fuck is that even possible? Look at this, there's two rock walls. I love when the art matches up. But do you see what I'm saying? Do you understand? Like, I feel like you're someone who really closed themselves off to bringing their gifts forward, bringing what you see and experience forward. And maybe that even has been you being silent in places where you didn't know how to raise your voice. You didn't know how to raise your voice. You didn't know how to. I just see a lot of anxiety tied to you trusting your gifts and like telling people about them, or going as far to say, if someone specifically listening to this is a medium and you have messages, you've like received messages from spirits or like being around certain people, and you keep having that experience and you keep holding on to that, but they keep getting louder and louder and louder to the point where you can't even hold them anymore. You're getting so many downloads, you're getting so many fucking messages, and it's like, BB, what? You don't have much room left inside of you. So this time right now, Spirit is saying, be silent, trust your own understanding. That literally came out. I feel like this time of you kind of more so stepping out of this energy has taken a lot of faith, and you've started to rework how you can go about bringing your gifts forward for other people to see, to share, to enjoy. Like, when you step into the mode of sharing your gifts, that inspires other people to do that as well in their own lives. It's a fucking domino effect. And the more you hold on to, the less you'll be able to receive, because you're holding on to so much. Does that make sense? Like, also, we've got adventure and expansion. So in this time, like, you're almost in this energy where you're able to really trust what Spirit is bringing into your life. And in that mode, like, you shifting into that energy of trusting yourself, trusting that you will be met with kindness, trusting that you will be met with curiosity and non-judgment, you having faith, and you having faith in yourself above all, and your connection to Spirit, I feel like, is very strong. And your faith is just fucking unmoved. Even though you have a lot of shit tied to like someone taking advantage of you and taking advantage of your gifts or treating you badly or demonizing you, you've really started to transition into this beautiful place of surrendering and releasing that, because that's not yours to hold on to. And you have accumulated so much strength. So much strength to the point where you have been able to sprout up out of this fucking block. Like the block that kept you restricted and small, and almost this could even be like a fucking cage, and you've just started to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna push through this shit. And you're doing it, and you're stepping into the High Priestess, which is so beautiful. You're stepping into this fucking as above, so below, yin yang, this duality energy of being able to bring forth these messages for the people that need to hear them from the astral. I feel like you're very in tune with spirit. I feel like you're very connected in that way. You're very intuitive. You read people, whether you use tools or you fucking don't. You're just someone who is very in tune with other people's emotions, their feelings, their experiences, and you're stepping into being able to share that gift with people, to share what you're experiencing, to, oh my god, bottom of the deck is participation. Like, to participate, to share. Look at the spiral on this. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that. And again, wait, let me get these animal cards back. I embrace my transformation. You're embracing the fact that you are magical. You're embracing the fact that it's taken you so much courage. You're embracing your gifts, and you're courageously letting go of the past. You're letting go of that past pain, that past hurt where someone wronged you. Something happened to make you want to hold on to all of this shit. And you've really, like, you've stepped into such a beautiful transformation in your life. And you've got expansion, adventure twice. The moment you start to, like, expand and share these gifts, you're going to go on the most grand fucking adventure designed specifically for you, uniquely for you. This is a part of your purpose. This is a part of your calling and your experience in this life, to share these gifts, to share. And when you open up your arms to share this wealth, you're also letting things go and making room to be able to receive. And that is fucking beautiful. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited for the... Oh my god, bottom of the deck on this oracle card deck is intuition. There's so many mirrored cards here. It's so beautiful. Again, that is another message to me, that you are a mirror for other people. You fucking read people, and I feel like that hasn't been well received in the past, and you've just started to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it anymore. But it keeps getting louder and louder. You keep holding on to so much, and it's time to start to open yourself up to trusting your own understanding of your gifts, and set those intentions that you will be met with people that understand. You will be met with people who are curious, that are not judgmental, that are open to receiving the gifts you have to give. I feel like you're someone who, there's a lot of things going on in your head. There's a lot of things going on in your head, and I feel like this is another message too, where you're having to swim through so many thoughts and so many things. Like, you hold on to so much, and Spirit is saying, get silent. And the way you're going to start to get silent on the inside is to start to speak on the outside, to start to give. What are you holding on to so tightly? What are you holding on to that's keeping you in a cycle of repeating patterns? What are you holding on to that's keeping you small? What are you holding on to that keeps you feeling like you're stuck, like in the cement? And Spirit, the whole message is so clear and so beautiful that you are on this journey to learning to trust your own understanding, and it's taken those situations in your life of people doing some fucked shit to you for you to be able to see that you even have gifts. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that you came into this life to experience harm or being taken advantage of, but I feel like you can start to look at those situations in a different way now, because you've had this courage now to start to like let up a little bit and open up, and you know, these things are all getting like fucking tangled together, all of these gifts, all of these experiences you're holding on to, and they need some room. They need some room to start to grow. They need some room to start to heal on their own. I feel like the last message of this spread is to trust your inner voice, to trust that you're allowed to use your voice. I feel like someone specific needs to say that. You're allowed, excuse me, I just burped. Hello, throat chakra. You're allowed to speak your fucking truth. And it takes so much courage to be able to speak your truth, especially if you are someone who stays silent most of the time and you don't really know how to go about using your voice, or using, if you're not someone who is able to speak, just how do you communicate? And focus on communicating more clearly with what's going on inside of you. Focus on communicating clearly like what you're experiencing, especially when it involves other people. Like, look at these two dolphins. I just see like this beautiful relationship where you're starting to open up to your gifts, to share them, and that takes a lot of courage, and I'm fucking proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. Just know that you are loved, that you are seen, that these gifts are special, that they are not a burden, and that you absolutely are going to be met with so much compassion and love the moment you start to open yourself up to being able to receive that love instead of scrutiny, instead of feeling like you're going to be attacked or taken advantage of. Start to, you know, your frequency is going to be matched, especially if you're a reader. So what frequency are you fucking vibrating at? Is it one where you're welcoming in all of this negativity? You're welcoming in these people to misunderstand you? Get clear on that shit and start to work on letting that go and setting new intentions of what you're going to be receiving, like from people specifically. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, watching to this reading. If you feel so called and would like to subscribe, I would greatly appreciate this. If you could like and share this video as well. And if you resonated with any of this message, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear about it. And I am wishing you so much peace, so much love, and so much safety over your gifts. I feel like you just need to know that you are safe to bring your gifts forward. And Spirit trusts you and has entrusted you to see these things, to feel these things, to experience these things, and to bring them forward. This is a part of your soul fucking mission on this earth, to share your gifts. And Spirit really wants you to step into a place where you feel confident to do that. And that might just take one step where it feels like you're stepping out of a fucking airplane, like going skydiving, and you're very apprehensive. But once you do it, you're gonna fall into such a beautiful, like, you're gonna free fall and not necessarily hit the ground. You're just gonna keep fucking flying and expanding and reaching new heights and going on so many adventures, and trust your fucking intuition and trust your inner voice and whatever's coming through for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you have a lovely day and or night. Hello, you chose pile number 3. Welcome to your reading, pile number 3. So this, I believe, is a piece of obsidian. And for those who chose pile number 3, I'm going to be using the Greer Tarot deck, as well as some additional oracle card decks. And every single deck that I use will be listed in the description per pile that I used them with. So pile number 3, take a deep breath and let's dive into this reading. What messages does Spirit have for you? Hello, those of you who chose pile number 3. I am very excited for this juicy reading, honestly. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the tarot cards that I pulled for you, and then I'm going to show you the oracle cards I pulled. Lastly, I'm going to dive into this reading. So the first card that flew out and bent a little bit was the 6 of Wands. Second card was the 2 of Cups. Ooh. Third card, 8 of Pentacles. Last tarot card, 5 of Cups in reversed. Holy shit. Alright, also, let's get into the oracle cards. I ended up pulling 3 goddess cards, and Kanyen has come through in every single reading. So there is... Kanyen is my girl. Kanyen comes through as compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others, and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. We have Guinevere, true love. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. And Pele, divine passion. Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? I also pulled 2 animal spirit cards. Tiger, fire. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. Ooh. Also, dragon, supernatural. You are the ancient wise sage. You can shapeshift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. Oh, snap. All right. Last oracle cards I pulled for you, pile number 3. Get to know each other. Learn to meet one another's needs. Learn to meet another's need for love. And choose love. You have... Why am I getting super tongue-tied? You always have a choice. Make yours with love. OMG. Also, bottom of the deck is 10 of Pentacles. Hello. So those of you who chose pile number 3, I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying the first message that's going to come through involves like a lot of work you've put into a relationship. Not just any relationship. I feel like this relationship is one that you've had for a long time. This could be the relationship you have with yourself. And if it's not the relationship you have with yourself, it's a relationship with like a long-term significant other. You've put a lot of work into your relationship to the point where at times where it felt as if that there was too much spilled. These like upright, the 5 of Cups is a card of loss. It's focusing on these things in our lives, these emotions that are just spilling out, focusing on the negative and not focusing on what we still have in our favor. And it's cool. We kind of also can play off of the fact that we have like the 2 of Cups twice, essentially. because that was the first thing I even looked at, and then it was out next to the Two of Cups. It's a whole thing. But the first message I am seeing throughout this whole spread is that you have been through a lot with your partner. If this message specifically is being heard by someone that's in a relationship, you've been through so much, and not just in this relationship, but a lot of work has been put into this relationship to the point where Spirit is saying congratulations. Like, where opportunities arose, is that a word? When opportunities came up for you in this relationship, when you were in this mode of focusing on all of the shit, focusing on the loss, focusing on the things that you can't necessarily control in your connection or in your relationship, once you started to gear your focus towards working on this, you stepped into this Six of Wands. You stepped into this, you know what? I am going to work on this connection because it is a connection that is bringing me, it's bringing you something. It's bringing you divine love. It's bringing you this thing that you really need in your life. I'm not seeing this relationship being something that needs to end. And again, I feel like when times came up in your relationship where it was like, you know what? I've got to make a choice. Do I leave or do I stay? You stayed, and you put in a lot. Like, this Eight of Pentacles coming through is just someone, again, putting in the work, and that work also is showing up as something that has been very repetitive, and it hasn't been all fucking butterflies, and healing your relationship or working on your relationship isn't something that is going to be all positive. It's going to bring up a lot of things for both of you, and it's going to bring about some shadows and some things outside of your control. And the fact that you have chose to stay, Spirit is saying, hey, I feel like you're starting to see the success in that, and like your connection has really strengthened. Not even just your connection with this one person, but your connection to yourself. And I feel like at times it hasn't felt like you've been supported by them. You know what? No, I'm going to take that back. I feel like you both have been through a lot and experienced a lot of pain and grief and things outside of your control and in this relationship that have affected this relationship. But you have such a strong foundation. We've got the Two of Cups twice. There's such a strong foundation within this relationship that no matter what you both have gone through, whether that's separately or together in your relationship, you've like met each other with love and understanding, even when like bad shit has come up and you have screamed and fought, or however you have chosen to release your anger and frustration towards those things, not even really having to do with your relationship. You've come together as a team, and you've been very successful in that. And Spirit wants you to know that they see you, and they see all of the effort and all of the work, all of the countless hours, I even kind of hear like workshop. Maybe you've taken the workshops, maybe you've gone to couples therapy, maybe I just see you as having a task, and like you have a mission, and your mission is to connect. Your mission is to have a strong foundation, and not even necessarily your mission now is to have that strong foundation. It's to see what your foundation can hold, because I feel like you already have a strong foundation with this connection and with this person. And for those of you who don't have a relationship, don't have a significant other, I feel like you've been doing a lot of personal work. Like, I feel as if you've had relationships in the past that haven't worked out the way that you wanted them to, and you've turned your position of loneliness into a position of utilizing the time you have and pouring into yourself, pouring into what you need. And it's almost like having this relationship, this beautiful relationship with yourself, and like putting in that work. And I also see the Eight of Pentacles as a card of creating something. And I feel like throughout all of the messages in this spread, this is you like putting in the work on something, even though it feels repetitive, even though it's like you're getting the same result every time. I can also see this. I can also I see these as achievements, and so you're creating achievements, you're creating reward, you're creating this success. And Spirit really wants to acknowledge how far you've come from these feelings of feeling out of control, and you show up for yourself anyway. You show up for yourself even when things get really hard. You look in the mirror and you go, you know what? I deserve more than this. I am worthy of so much more. Like, I'm gonna put in the work. I don't care how much money it takes me. I don't care how much time and effort I have to pour into my own self-care routine or ritual. Like, you just are someone who, you are fucking focused on getting things done. And I feel like that has to do with just your overall being and being completely in alignment with your higher self. Like, this is very beautiful. So I want to bring in these oracle cards too. We've got, I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. With divine passion, be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? I feel like that's for someone specifically that's not necessarily in a relationship. And the Eight of Pentacles is coming through as you putting in the work and it feeling repetitive, and you're getting the same result every time, and this is not necessarily your work. Like, you're working for someone else and you are thinking about doing something on your own. Like, this person seems very tired, they've got bags under their eyes, they're just looking at the same thing every fucking day in the same routine, creating the same shit. And you're stepping out of that by starting to question what your passion is, and starting to question, like, literally be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? And stepping into your own fucking magic, tapping into your own fire. Hello, wands. Wands are a part of the element of fire. And Spirit is saying, like, you will be successful in this thing you're thinking about. You will be successful in this thing you want to manifest. You already have a good work ethic. You already know how to create things. You already have the tools in your fucking hands. So what do you want to do with them? What do you want to do with them? And whatever you decide to do with them, I feel like that's going to lead you closer to yourself. Like, take you on this successful journey to quite literally being in alignment with your higher self, and like letting your true passion, letting like your soul purpose live, and like you creating it, if that makes sense. It's so beautiful. And we also, for those of you who, I feel like this goes for all of you, you've got true love. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. Whether you're in a relationship or not, I feel like you have really opened yourself up to be able to receive love and in new ways. For those of you who have been putting a lot of work into that relationship that you've had for a while, like, just know that Spirit sees you, and like they see how much love you've poured into that person, how much love you've poured into yourself. And for those of you who are not in a relationship, you know, this is a message to say, hey, I feel like this more so ties into also what you're passionate about. Like, once you have this clear vision of what you're passionate about and how you can bring it forward, and you make this plan, this card is saying, hey, the romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. I feel like that is the universe bringing you love in the form of what you're passionate about, because when you're in a passionate state, you are acting out of love. You're acting out of that fire energy. You're acting out of that absolute fucking fierceness. So this doesn't necessarily have to be about a specific relationship, but I think it is for some of you. And then also Kanyen, compassion, release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. Ooh, what was that? Something just fell off my wall. Kanyen's like, hello, it's me. This is one of my favorite oracle cards, and I feel like if your relationship is something where it hasn't been all butterflies, your relationship is something, this is for someone specifically in a relationship or in a partnership right now. If your relationship has kind of dwindled to the point where you're both not focusing on the relationship anymore, you're focusing on the things you can't control, that spirit is saying, have some compassion for yourself. How can you both come together? How can you both come together and get through this time of uncertainty? How can you both come together and be a team instead of working on your own and working through your own shit? Release judgments. Release those judgments surrounding fucking everything in your relationship. And remember that you have a strong connection. If you're in a relationship with this person, like, you have a very strong connection, and don't forget that. I know that there's so many things happening right now that pours so much negativity into that can seem like it is pouring negativity into your relationship and like keeping you apart in some way. I feel like you just need to be reminded that you have this relationship you can fall back on, in both ways. You can be open with each other about how you're feeling, like these feelings of grief, these feelings of despair, these feelings of uncertainty. You can rely on each other and become a team and a unit, and like bring forward like, how do you want to help people? Maybe that, especially through the times we're in right now, like, what do you want to build? How do you want to help people? How can you help yourself? How can you tend to your own needs as a human being? Different messages for different people, but I feel like we can all relate on that one right now, where it's like we're in this time of so much is happening at once, especially like all of the fucking natural disasters that are happening, and pandemic, we're in a fucking civil rights movement, and it's just one thing after the other, and these are things outside of our control. So coming like in that relationship with your partner or just with yourself, start to look at what are things you can control, what are things you can work on, put the work into, that will start to benefit the collective, that will start to benefit people that need help, people that need a voice, people that are longing to be heard. How can you show up and do that? What can you create in this time? I feel like some of you are very passionate about helping the earth, taking care of the earth. Like, what can you fucking create? What have you been thinking about to bring into this physical awareness we all so fucking vibrate on, that can help us all through this shit? But yeah, I hope that this message resonated with you. I forgot I pulled this. Get to know each other. Learn to meet another's needs for love. I feel like that's another message for those of you who have been like putting in a lot of work in that, in your long-term relationship. Or even, you know what? I feel as if some of you aren't in a long-term relationship, but you just entered a relationship, and this is just saying like, get to know each other, be completely transparent, and So when these times arise where things are outside of your control, like, you have a strong foundation of love, understanding, and openness to fall back on. You can have a really strong unit of love and understanding. And I feel like also this is you two coming together and creating things, coming together and working on things that can better benefit society, better benefit your relationship, your family. Like, maybe this is you, like, building a house, like building a tiny house village for, like, a community of people that need it. This is you, like, putting in extra effort to make sure that other people are taken care of, not just in your relationship, but other people. I feel like you just have a very big heart, and you're someone, like, with a really good work ethic. And yeah, whatever's coming up for you, whatever you've been thinking about during this, is something you need to bring forward, and you're fucking meant to, and you're gonna be successful in it. Yeah, thank you so much for listening or watching to this reading. I hope that this resonated with you in some way. If it didn't, feel free to pick another pile. I will say Kunyan came through in all of them. But yeah, if you feel so called, I would love it if you liked this video, shared this video to your friends, and subscribed. And let me know if anything resonated with you in the comment section down below. You can find my social media links in the description, as well as all of the decks that I used, all of the music you've heard, literally all of the information you need will be in the description. So thank you so much. I am sending you so much peace, so much love, and so much motherfucking light. Oh my god, I hope that wasn't off center the whole video. Probably was. Anyway,